Hello and welcome to Heroes of the Vale. I don't know why I have the giggle summary. We have a fantastic cast today. As always, we have Hope Lavelle playing Penelope Halfpint. We have Adam Bradford playing Briv Steel Marrow, and also, honestly, like producing the show and providing music and cool tidbits during the show, which many of you may not know,
Tidbits.
which is awesome.
I like it.
Tidbits. We have Lauren Urban, who's playing Orkira Eldrix. My wife mentioned that I've been mispronouncing that. And dropping your R. And Jen Kretschmer as Alindra Sarbarand.
Hi.
And previously, a lot of things happened in the episode, and it's going to be a little tough to sum up. There was some timey-wimey stuff. There was some time travel. So the adventure started off with, after Briv Stillmarrow had nobly tried to hit a god, as one does, was also himself. He was injured. However, the next morning, he didn't wake up. He died of his injuries. The rest of the group of heroes that were trapped in this room with a time travel device busied themselves quite quickly after the funeral with trying to build the time machine. But it was taking a great deal of time, and because of this, specifically Penelope Halfpint and Orkira started to age by just too many years to survive. They're now elderly in terms of being a dragonborn and in terms of being a halfling. So only Alindra, who is a high elf, could remain, as well as Keen, who also was dead and possessed a construct and was also able to help her. I can't believe I'm saying any of this right now.
Welcome to D&D.
Fast forward about 1,000 years, after Penelope Halfpint and Orkira went into the Bag World, the Bag of Devouring, where time moves much slower, and went on a series of unicorn-filled adventures. Jen's character, Alindra, told them that they could now return. They found that Alindra had, in fact, been working 1,000 years on the time machine and had grown quite old and incredibly powerful. And so the time machine was started up, and everyone went to very specifically the time that Alindra wanted to go to, which was before they ate the white meat, WIGHT. I am ashamed of the joke as well. However, there was some kind of dissonance. There was an issue with the Heroes of the Vale being in a timeline where they already previously had existed and did exist. So everyone started taking damage. Alindra, very quickly thinking on her feet, decided to cast Wish and move everyone forward into time. She wished that the timeline was now healed and fine. This led to you seeing that none of the Heroes of the Vale were being eaten by the bag that originally led to this disaster. And Orkira figured out that she needed to place the Bag of Devouring you currently had to eat yourselves so that the timeline remained intact. So you literally ended up being your worst enemy. If anyone in chat or in the world can possibly follow what I just described, I'm super happy for you. And so today, we have our Heroes of the Vale. The construct that was Keen left Storm Herald, feeling that his purpose had been completed and that two Keens cannot exist in the same timeline, no matter what form they existed in. So currently, you all are, I believe Alindra is now in Storm Herald, the Flying Castle, in the control room. Orkira, Penelope, where are you? I know where Briv is. He is a pile of bones somewhere next to Keen's glaive.
Penelope's probably in the hallway still, but she had transformed, wild-shaped into a fox. So she's being very stealthy.
Okay. Still sneaking
Orkira's
around?
there as well, being super stealthy.
Okay. You do know that all of you have, your past selves have been devoured by the Bag of Devouring at this point. And there is no one is taking damage anymore. Everything feels like things should be okay. Alindra, what are you doing?
I'm resting because that is a lot for a day at my age.
Okay.
Okay.
Does everyone
Well,
want to take a long rest?
On the
Okay, or like come
cost
out of the
norm.
corner.
I think it worked. Should we go looking for Alindra? Should we go looking for the bag?
She's saying to the fox that is Penelope, expecting an answer because
This
Why
like
not?
gray-haired fox is just gonna like kind of like paw at Briv's door where the bag had gone into.
I'll open the door. Do I see the
Yeah.
bag? Do I?
You see the bag of devouring, just kind of licking its lips.
The bag has lips.
So,
You're dead.
That
So-
was definitely Adam saying that. Not Drew.
Peanut gallery. Great.
do we need to like stash this somewhere so that in 50 years we pop out of it?
Yes,
I'll
probably that would be a wise decision.
I'll try to grab. I'll try to grab the bag.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. You would
It
think
doesn't
after
let go.
so
It
many
doesn't let go.
years. All right.
I mean,
what is this?
would-
Like an unarmed strike?
or Kira, would you
Yes.
like to put it back where we were?
I don't know where it's supposed to go. It just I remember 50 years later we pop out of it once all the bad stuff happens. But it's got to be here, right?
Oh, no. I can put it on a demi-plane.
So I go to grab the bag and I roll a natural one. And so what happens is I go to grab it, and then Alindra's question totally distracts me, and I forget that I'm trying to grab the bag.
Oh.
Okay, you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 in my attack, which gives me a 2.
No.
Gives me a
It
2.
It just slithers. It's just like and like slithers between your legs and your wings and your tail, and just like shoots off into a hallway, and it's just well, not running, but just scurrying down the hallway as fast as it can.
Penelope, the fox will run after it.
Okay.
Super fast. Super fast.
Do it, do it, do it.
All
And,
right, go and make an attack roll to grab.
yeah, or bite. Oh no, where's my dice? Here it is. Sorry. Oops.
Oh,
Okay. That's an attack of 14.
all right, you this bag has long pointy teeth and six sets of eyes. Well, not six, 3 sets of eyes, and it's trying to get away. And right then, you as a fox just bites the other end of it. So it's literally like a mouth biting another mouth, but you do have hold of it, and it almost instinctively, like a cat being like bit by its own mother on the back, like on the scruff of the neck. It just goes limp.
And I'll
Looking at you.
drag it back into the room because I know that's where we popped up before. I'll like toss it into the corner. I'm gonna come out of wild shape. Penelope comes back up with all of her gray hair and dust flying out of it because she's old. And she's going to cast Mold Earth, and she's just going to create a hole and bury it.
Okay. The whole
Hopefully
thing
that
just
will
hurts.
hold it.
It's just like
Stay.
We have a few options, I think is the word. Yes, options. There is a chest we could put it in for safekeeping in another plane. Or we could put it in another plane itself. If you
Do
think
we even
that would
wanna-
be valuable.
I don't want to lose ourselves anymore.
No.
I don't want to have to worry about this thing for the next 50 years. Can't we just leave it buried in the corner?
Well, I suppose so.
My Mother Earth will hold it.
How much does the bag weigh?
not a lot. It's very light.
I
For a bag
will.
that contains an entire universe.
I will create. I pull out of my pocket a sapphire that I had found amongst the components of the goodies at the other plane, at the teleportation room. It was one of the spare parts that Keen had found. And I touch it, and I cast Draw Mage's Instant Summons on it, and I cast that on the bag as well, so that they are now linked. And if we crush the sapphire, the bag will be called to us.
Okay, very good. Noted. Sounds like a plan.
And the
love that
Sapphire's
spell.
not going to try to eat you, so that's a good idea.
Truth. Let's just make sure it can't get out or eat its way out.
It
More dirt.
seems trapped.
I mean, it just needs to be here for 50 years, I guess. Right? That's how time works? Is that what we figured out?
Is that how this is going to work? From what I can tell at this point?
Yeah, from what you can tell, yeah, that seems like it might be the plan.
So, it's been kind of a crazy few minutes on several different planes of existence. What now?
Well, we are headed toward the norm.
Well, my
Oh,
old
okay.
bones hurt. I want to sleep now.
I believe rest would be in order.
Yeah, now that we're back here, I get all Paylor's power back, so maybe in the morning I can help with your bones? Maybe? It's been a while. I'm a little out of practice.
Okay.
Okay, is everyone taking a long rest?
Yes,
Oh.
you notice that Alindra no longer walks from place to place. She just misty steps at will. Just poof, 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 poof.
She's about to ask you like how long it's gonna take to get there, and you just go poof, and she'll look over at Penelope and go,
Has she always done that, or am I seeing things?
Walking is difficult.
All
My
right.
cane nearby? Wait,
All
hang
right,
on.
so
I'll go
everyone-
get. Alindra has a cane. In my bag. I might have one. Oh no, it's over in the other side of the room. I can't go get it.
All right, so everyone takes a long rest. It's probably the first good sleep that you've had in quite some time. Anyone who's trying to get hit points back and spells can do so. And
just
it
me?
is-
Okay.
Yeah. And you all wake up to early morning.
So
I begin my prayers.
I look around for Flo and Buckbeak, or what was his name?
Big breaker.
Beakbreaker.
Beakbreaker? Beakbreaker and Flo are in Storm Herald.
I find them and I kind of hide the bones of Briv just in case, and I just say,
Briv has gone on a very brave adventure for a little while. So, in that time, I will take care of you, okay?
Where have you hidden the bones of Briv?
probably in the worst spot possible. I probably would have just like brushed them to the side and put like some flowers on them, and just like a bush. I would have just like put this bush on them in the middle of the stone temple.
Okay, there's just a creepy mound
Yeah.
near the temple that looks like a flower garden, but everyone
Yes.
knows it's not a flower garden. Yeah, every once in a while, Beakbreaker kind of like digs at the pile of dirt and sniffs it, kind of sad.
Oh, I distract you. Look
Yeah.
at me.
Beakbreaker being a giant ostrich is easily distracted. So
Yeah, maybe Flo can
Quite
help with
fun
that.
for Penelope.
So Keen's around, and all the rest like the people of Storm Herald are all around, and do any of, as far as they're concerned, it's been a day.
No, mostly people complaining. Yeah, just complaining about stuff like, "Woof, that meal last night was terrible. That was it was very rancid."
Have
Does
they noticed that we
anyone-
look different?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
How are you asking that they look different?
I mean, we look
I'm-
old.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just,
people like anyone who's walking by notices that all of you are very old.
My portents for the day are 3, 20, and 19.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness. You get 3 now? Wow.
Is Keen anywhere? Like this timeline Keen?
Ah.
Yeah, you still see King kind of holding his stomach, and he seems very unwell still.
Okay.
And every time you try to talk to him, he's just like,
Not doing so hot.
no, just kind of sweaty. And he's indicated that he's thinking of going back to the Feywild for a little bit. He does. He. However, like he's like blurry-eyed and seems very unwell.
Okay. Okira's gonna let him rest because trying to figure out how to explain to him what's happened over the last several hundred years to a sick Eladrin sounds like the worst idea ever. So she'll just pat him
Yeah,
on
we
the
can
shoulder
make the
and go,
whole adventure about that, but yeah.
If I could spend the next 2 hours trying and failing to do that, she'll just pat him on the shoulder and be like, all right, when you're feeling better, just let us know. We got stuff to talk about. And she'll go,
Penelope doesn't get too close to Keen because I think she's a little weirded out after losing Keen and knowing that this Keen isn't her Keen. It's very conflicting. So this is one time she won't fight him going back to the Fae.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Okira's just might avoid everybody else because if she is having a hard time figuring out how to explain that to Keen, explaining that to everybody else might be super hard. So she's gonna find Alindra and say, so how far before we get to the Norn place?
Right. Do I have any sense of that?
About a day.
It will take approximately a day, so we have some time. Would you like me to bring back Briv?
Well, yeah. I'm surprised that's even a question.
You can do
Is
that.
there a problem with that?
No. I think that should happen now.
Okay. Do you need anything? Do we need to? I mean, I've heard of that kind of magic, but that was not anything I learned how to do. That's kind of scary that you can do that already.
But it's how I brought you back.
Wait, with the gate thing?
Yes.
Oh, you're not talking about like resurrecting this one, and she'll
No.
Point out the window towards where she thinks the body is, not knowing that Penelope's hidden it.
You're talking about pulling out the one that's in the bag?
Briv. Yes.
But if you do that and he's not with us to do the things that he did in the past, won't that screw the whole timeline up again?
Well, he won't attack Saranthus. And he won't
That was
attack-
really cool.
It was very cool. Though, if you think about the universe as multiple parallel stacks, well, not quite stacks, they're more like strings, but they all exist. And each one is different, and so it did occur, though it didn't occur in this one. And she sort of slips out of speech and into signing, trying to explain this to you.
Okira's too polite, especially to someone who literally just saved the universe, she thinks. So she's just going to nod as though she understands what's going on.
It's been 1,000 years. My people skills are not strong.
Well,
I had Robot Keen, and that was about it.
so as long as you're sure it's not gonna mess, that we're not all going to be in pain and dying again, right?
I mean, from everything I understand and every possibility I've been able to work through in my head, that's the way it would go, right? It would be okay.
Yeah, in theory. We'll see.
That means no.
I mean, unless you know how to bring Briv back. I know there's magic out there that can bring people back from the dead. I just don't know it.
That is not a magic that I would use.
I mean, it's a magic I would use if I knew it. Do you know it? Can you teach it to me? And then I'll just do it.
You
Taylor
are all
would
having
help
this
with that.
discussion over the burial mound of Briv at this moment, too. The three of you are just like in a circle or a triangle, just having this conversation. While people are walking by, kind of staring at, like, when did we get a 1,000-year-old elf with white hair?
I'm now sitting on a tensor's floating disc because standing is difficult. And so I'm just sitting there hovering. Do you understand? It's the natural order of a life. And when it's over, there's no more to be had other than the stories and the memories.
But it wasn't over. He still had so much life in him. So can we use that?
You would pull him back from the other side.
If he wanted to come back.
I feel like Briv could handle it.
You have seen this.
I'm just gonna sit back and watch this happen. Whatever it is.
You have seen what happens to those from the other side. You have fought them.
Well, no,
And
I'm
you
not talking
want
about
that
like.
for your friend.
No. That's not bringing back a soul. That's reanimating a corpse. That's something. That's something
How is
horrible.
it this
That's
different.
because those things
Briv
had
has a soul.
the ocean of the dead are
And
just
you think none
bodies.
of those people had souls?
They did, but they're no longer in their bodies. They've gone.
what
They've moved
point
on.
does the
Like
soul
Keen was
leave the
trying to
body?
do.
At what point does the soul leave the body? How do you know?
That's a question I haven't really
I think-
dived into too much.
Briv is too stubborn to have left his body when it was not his time. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay.
I feel like he's left his body, but the magic that I know calls it the soul back. You know, the same way Keen wasn't in the body that we talked to on Storm Herald, but his spirit was with us in the place.
So was
They were in two
Keen-
different places.
Was Keen his body? Or was Keen his spirit? The lack of a
It's a
body.
spirit.
The
Or else-
thought.
Are we having
So
a
if I-
philosophical discussion, or am I
I-
trying to convince you of something? I can't tell.
Briv.
Yes, let us
Yeah.
bring back Briv. This Briv has a
Bring
soul
back Briv.
and a body,
Bring back
and
Briv.
they have not been severed. Therefore, this Briv is worth
Bring back-
retrieving. And I I do ascending, and I say, he'll probably hear it in younger Olinder's voice, I'm guessing, because it's telepathic in the way I still hear myself in my head. So, hello, Briv. We are, there's been a whole mix-up with the time and the planes, and we'd like to bring you back to the group so you're not dead because you ran in and charged a god. It was epic.
So you are specifically contacting the Briv that's in the bag.
I mean, there's not another Briv that I can really contact because I don't.
Okay, I
think I
just need to
resurrect
very much
people.
clarify this point. You are, okay,
I
you
mean,
are
I don't
contacting the
want
Briv in
to
the
wish to.
bag.
I don't have a resurrection. I don't do that. That's against
I'm not
everything
making-
I believe in.
I am not here to judge. Well, I am. So-
I think we.
But not that
So
kind of
okay,
judging.
but let me think this out because I could think this out because I would have had plenty of time to think this out. If I
Or maybe
retrieve the
not.
Briv in the
Maybe
bag.
you didn't have time. Yeah. So Briv is in the bag.
No, I mean my brain is. I'm an intelligence 20 at this point, possibly even higher. If I have magical things that I've constructed at this point.
Well, you
so
have said that you communicated to him. So somewhere in the demiplane, Briv,
process.
you are sound asleep. Maybe still have your pillow next to your head as you're holding it, and you hear Alindra try to talk to you, and you don't know why she's trying to like disturb your sleep. It's very annoying, but you do hear the sound of wind rushing around your ears, and you hear Alindra's voice.
Fool of an elf, leave me be. I need my beauty rest.
Well, then Briv does not want to be brought back.
Are you
To
saying this out
clarify,
loud?
There is
Yes,
a young,
I'm telling you in real time.
there's a young Alindra where I am, right?
Old Alindra is talking to Akira and Penelope, saying he said no.
Did you even try? I feel
Yes,
like
I
you didn't
just-
even try.
What did Briv say?
He tried to fight a god. He died, and he did not want to come back. So we must find another solution.
Why wouldn't he want to come back? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound like Briv.
Wait, did you talk to his spirit of the one that's dead, or did you talk to the guy that's in the bag? I'm so
One in the
confused.
bag.
No,
Briv,
that one
that is
doesn't.
Alindra, is the
Wait,
connection still open to Briv?
Not at this point. I would have to recast. I
Will
only
you
get
shut it
25
down?
It's sending's a short
You didn't
spell.
even try.
I did try. I sent him a message saying that, hey, we need to bring him out of there because he's going to go get killed by a god because he did it and he died doing it. And is he ready to go? And he said no. So I asked, he said
And he
no.
said the most Briv thing ever, which is I'm trying to sleep.
He said
makes
no,
sense
go
to me.
away. And
Briv,
I believe
you
in
do
people
open
making
one
their own
eye, and
choices.
Briv, you do open one eye and you notice that you are falling from a great height. You don't think you've ever been this high up before. In fact, you can barely recognize the land as you're passing through actual clouds. And you see the rest of the group just kind of floating. And you see Penelope Halfpint on the back of Okira, who's trying to help fly her around. And there is a giant tower beneath you that has a giant opening at the top, as if to, like, you're going to fall straight down into it. And you have a weird sense of deja vu.
I grab my cloak and just make myself as wide as possible, hoping that Okira can get to me in time before I fall all the way down.
Okay,
So
instead
I'm
of falling
just
60
trying to
feet.
increase wind resistance.
Yes, okay. Briv
I'm
Steel
trying to remember
Marrow, the
exactly
half-orc
what I
is
did
now,
last time. Oh dear.
lighting.
Wait. Was I on your
what-
back the first time?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we collided with each other, and then we like
Okay.
grabbed each other, and I flew us out of the but I wasn't able to get
I believe
everybody
I
because I was still
cast
learning how to fly at that
Featherfall.
point. Yeah,
All right.
The
she
first
cast
time?
Featherfall. Yeah, the first time. Yeah.
What is everyone doing in the other plane of existence that Briv is not?
Okay, old
still-
people. Old.
Bring Briv back. Bring Briv back. Where's
I
Briv?
offered, he said no. So
But you asked
Mm.
the one in the bag. Can you ask the one that's dead?
I don't speak with the dead.
I do.
And I'll cast Speak with the Dead because I have my powers back.
There we go.
Okay.
Now,
let's
all of
get
you
into
know-
this.
yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna say this because I said it last time as well, and it's important for a variety of reasons. Oh, where's my Speak with the Dead? It's here somewhere. It doesn't actually pull a soul back. It just brings a semblance of life to. I'll re-explain this as Okira.
It just like I'm not actually calling the soul. I'm like, it's a semblance of life. The soul is somewhere else. That's why it's like, I'm not going to resurrect the body. I'm going to resurrect, well, I can't. But here, you'll see. This is what I did with Keen last time, even though Keen was somewhere else being all wintry and stuff.
Are you going to put Keen in the body of that robot?
Do we have the robot?
I may have a solution.
Okay, so Okira has already announced she's casting. You would cast Speak to the Dead.
Yeah, speak with dead.
Very specifically state what that says. That spell.
Oh, let me pull it up. Hold on. I just had it right here.
Do we have at least 1 cubic inch of flesh of Briv?
We have his entire mummified corpse.
That's right. It was well preserved.
If
Keen,
we would like, I can begin cloning him. That is different.
Will you clone a live Briv or just the body?
I believe it can choose to be a younger version. It is a
right.
safeguard against death.
So,
It would have to. Well, this would be a DM call, I believe.
Oh, you're gonna have to pray to that god? I don't know.
I may have to pray to Ogma's boss.
Welcome to our least accessible adventure of Heroes of the Vale. If you've not been watching it. So I am going to say that the three of you being rather elderly and some of you not having the best social skills anymore are talking over each other and even casting over each other. So, Okira, you've already cast Speak to the Dead. You are holding some part of Briv, you tell me which, while you're having this philosophical discussion with Alindra about cloning Briv back to life. Meanwhile, most of the population of Storm Herald... Right. Most of the population of Storm Herald are now giving you very weird looks because there is a dragonborn with wings holding the bones of a friend and casting spells, and you are having a completely insane conversation. So they're like,
just like,
one of the farmers is like digging up potatoes, just like every once in a while, just like looking up at you. Digging up a potato, looking up at you, and just like walking away very quickly.
You know how you hear about old people and where they reach a point where they just don't care what other people think anymore? I think we're all at that point. We're all just at that point. I don't care.
The Golden Girls.
We definitely are the Golden Girls.
Currently, Briv has been communicated to with the spell Speak with the Dead.
So I would have unwrapped his head because I require a mouth. And it says you grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, which is 10 feet, allowing it to answer the questions you pose, the corpse. And then it refers to it as a corpse. So I don't actually pull his spirit. It's a semblance of life. Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes things go wrong though. But yes.
Well, yeah.
So
Often things go wrong.
You are holding the skull of Briv Stillmarrow in your hands.
Well, I would have unwrapped it and then put my hand on his forehead.
What glowing eyes do you imagine Briv Steelmarrow has in this strange spell, Adam?
Oh, obviously like a cold blue.
Okay. So these cold blue flaming eyes, just kind of pinpoints appear in the skull.
And I'm
even
in the process.
Briv's skull looks a little perturbed.
Yeah, it's all right. Fair enough. I'm in the process of like,
well, but so you didn't ask the one in the bag. This isn't the exact same one. Hey, would you like to be brought back to life?
That's my first question.
Oh,
Briv. All right.
Oh, Kira, Briv had a love with whom he wanted to be reunited.
You asked
to
your
the
first
Dungeon
question.
Master. Am I able to answer, or
you are the one to answer these questions? Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Of course, I would.
You had a second question, Alindra?
Are you all just morons?
I was concerned that it was not brave, but that's brave.
She'll look down at the body and be like,
Do you really want to be insulting the people who are going to bring you back to life? Hold on. We've got 4 more questions, or was that all we really needed to know?
Hi, Briv.
I believe that was
have
you
Flo
actually
here.
just asked a question out loud. Briv has no way of knowing if you're speaking to him or not, so please repeat what you just asked.
I asked everybody else, was there anything else we needed to know? So I guess Brav's question is there anything else we need to know?
Is there anything Briv can tell us about the poison that was
Which
inflicted upon?
question do I need to answer here?
So, you have to answer
It's all
Orkira's
you.
questions.
Okay,
Orkira
but
is
what
the
was
one who
Orkira's
clarifies the question.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Is there anything else we need to know?
Thou shouldst get me back immediately. My quest is not over.
See, I told you he wanted to come back.
That was 2.
Why did you not say so?
I had over half my hit points left. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. At the time, I didn't have any healing. It was kind of a painful time. I would have totally healed you. Listen, we'll talk about that later when you're alive again.
She'll look back over at Penelope and Alindra.
What do we do now?
We ask him 3 more questions, or we let this thing stop. I don't have to ask you questions. I could just stop.
Well, we
think
know
I
he
can.
wants us to bring him back, so, what else do we need to know? Maybe? Is he...
Can we ask him if there's anything he can tell us about Saranthis that we might not have known since he went up to her, touched her, experienced the poison, and so on and so forth?
Hey, Briv. It was kind of awesome when you smacked Saranthis. Can you tell us anything about that moment that would help us fight her?
I was completely glorious. And I will eventually kill that freak bitch.
Oh, we knew that already. I asked if there was anything we didn't know.
How was I supposed to know what you didn't know?
All right, fair enough.
Oh, we missed you, Briv.
Two more
As you were still
questions.
talking to a skull. More people have become increasingly nervous, and now are just like people like because it's
Still-
on the path. It's also on the path, so people just are like walking into Storm Herald, like, oh.
You know what? I will go. I
Later
will go
problems.
ahead
Later
and
problems.
put Mordenkainen's private sanctum around us for privacy. Then, if it's making people around us uncomfortable, I'll just pop that off.
Okay.
So,
All right, you do so.
What happens?
An area. It's a cube. It's a cube around us, as big as I want it to be. But I basically. I'll create a nice little fortress for us. Sound can't pass through I can choose how I want it to be secured, but sound can't pass through. It's dark and foggy. Divination spells can't pass through it. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport in and out, and planar travel is blocked within the warded area. And if I cast the same spot every year, it becomes permanent. So it's a nice little protective.
So Speak with Dead is over now that
Yeah.
this is...
I don't. That's a necromancy. That actually.
Yeah,
and
the
because
spell
it
can
doesn't.
still communicate because it's not specifically talking to the dead soul, but a remnant.
Yep. Yep. I didn't pull your soul. I'm just animating your corpse for a second and asking it questions.
That's the only reason he's so rude.
All right, well,
So,
that
here
was
is
cool.
the
We got-
veil.
we have 2 more questions, or are we done here? Because, now we got a hut.
It looks like we're done.
Wait. If no one else had any questions, I have 2 questions. One, what do you want to eat when you get back?
White meat.
No!
We'll work on that. All right. And final question.
What does Flo like to eat?
Oh, good question. What's Flo like to eat?
Halfling brains.
It's nice to know in death he still has a
And
sense
for
of
the
humor.
first time
This is true.
in 10 centuries, Alindra reaches out and she puts her hand on Penelope's head and she goes, "Know what this is?"
What?
Her, Alindra's hand is on your head, Penelope, and she goes, "Know what this is?"
Oh.
It's going like that.
No, what is it?
A mind sucker.
Oh, what's it doing?
Starving.
Oh,
This is the first
Alright,
joke
Briv.
he's made in a millennium. And she goes off and she's laughing so hard that she falls over on her disc.
All right, Briv. Thanks for your help. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, Briv.
Alindra, be careful. You're gonna break something.
Ouch.
Help her back onto her disc.
All right, well, there you go. I mean, you heard it from the corpse of the guy himself.
All right.
All
I
right.
need to go. So now I need to go learn how to do this spell. So can I go look at all of the books I've stowed away in the demi plane? I guess I'm going to have to plane shift over there or teleport there.
That's how nonchalant she is about this. I'm gonna have to just like plane shift,
It's
to
just,
teleport.
there's no reason to be. I've been in a bubble with Keen.
Where are you going to plane shift to?
So I basically created a hidden library. Basically stowed the books away last session. Before we left, I made sure all of the important volumes of spellbooks and things were in a place where I could access them, but they were not accessible to anyone else. So I basically put them on a demi-plane or a Liam secret chest. I'm trying to remember exactly which spell I was using for it.
Spells
but
from the actual room that you were in?
from the library, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I basically made a secret library that I hid away. Let me see. Private sanctum. I mean, we could.
Dear,
Yeah, I guess it could be
Did you power
I'm
down?
trying to remember. I had a whole elaborate thing planned for it. Like it could be like a Liam secret chest within a permanent private sanctum, kind of thing.
Okay.
Or it
Kira
could have been-
elbows
or it could have
Penelope
just been a
gently
demi-plane.
as Alindra is just like talking out loud about demi-planes and secret chests and stuff, and she's like,
we were just having fun in a ball pit.
I kind of miss it.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
I'll just put it on a demi-plane. That's probably easier. Just private demi-plane, all the locks and hidden, and every protection I can do. I had a millennium to plan the most secure location I could think of to store the books.
How long does this spell last?
I mean, I would have set up as permanent a scenario as I can. Once you create the demi-plane, it exists, and then you go back and it's an hour. The door lasts an hour.
Okay. All right. So
And
do
once
you
you
reach
know
into
where it
the tiny
is,
hut?
Well, I would have to step out of the sanctum because I probably would start setting this sanctum up to be non-teleportable,
Okay.
so that other creatures couldn't come in. So I want to make a Saranthus-proof room, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just will pop over to my demi-plane.
You go into
Usually
the
that-
hut?
This would be outside of the hut. I can't do this in the hut because I'm setting up the hut to be a non-spell casting. I'm setting up the hut to be a fortress of safety.
Okay. So,
A fortress of
what I
solitude.
need specifics on is the things that you need, the items. Where are they stored?
I could keep diamond dust on me, I suppose, and then use I have a spell that lets me fabricate to transform them into whatever my material components are for these. But the demiplane requires it's just a somatic component. There's no verbal or material component to create it.
Okay, I will say. Okay, so you create a shadowy door on the flat, solid surface that you can see within range. That door is large enough to allow medium creatures to pass through unhindered. When opened, the door leads to a demiplane that appears to be empty. Okay, I'll go ahead and say that you open the demiplane. You do not find anything inside the demiplane. It's completely empty. It's in a different timeline.
Okay.
But
Got
you
it.
do have the means necessary, like books and other items, to start work on the spell clone.
Okay. No, I already have clone, but in my spell book.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
exists in my spellbook already.
Yeah.
But clone, I need Briv alive to do that.
You need Briv to be alive.
Yeah, clone creates a contingency plan. Basically, clone lets you grow a spare body, so if you die, your soul goes into the new body. He's
Okay.
already dead.
Yeah.
So
He
that makes it
is
more difficult. I'm going to be
already dead.
looking at high-level necromancy or having to use my wish again, which is every time I do it, it's super draining. It's exhausting, and at some point it will kill me if I keep going.
True, but
So
I will say in this case, you will be using Wish to just replicate another spell, which isn't as draining.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, okay.
So,
I
I mean,
mean,
Okira, you know that-
using Wish. Just my second edition brain is hurting every time I'm using Wish.
It's not like Okira knows any of this. Okira's like, hey, whatever you need. I'm just telling you what Briv wants.
Yes. Okay.
20th
So
level
you
wizard's
are-
man.
Probably would try and learn another spell rather than use.
well, we definitely need an answer. to what
Okay,
the plan
it's
is.
I don't know what spell would be reanimating the dead here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and I will use Wish to replicate, but I don't know what spell I'm using here. What would be the one that I would want for this?
I need you to specifically word the spell wish. It doesn't necessarily completely replicate a spell always, but you can certainly just you. It has the ability to replicate a spell. However, I need you to say the words in a very specific way. What you would like to happen when you cast wish.
I'm trying to find out what spell I need to use to reanimate Briv and
I'm
to
looking
return
it
him to
up.
his body.
How long has Briv been dead at this point? Is it negative
Like-
years because of timeline?
Yeah, it's kind of
That-
negative years.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's super weird. Because otherwise it'd be like 700 years. And so it's going to be, I'm looking it up
mean,
because it's,
It might be true resurrection, but that's a cleric spell, not a wizard spell. So
But you're a
that is
cleric.
totally fine.
But it's
I
also
only
level
have
9 and not level 8 or lower.
Yeah.
yeah. This is complicated. It would be much easier to just pull him back from the bag.
Mm-mm. That's not our Briv.
wait, you just,
But it is our Briv. It's just our Briv a long time ago.
It's the Briv that remembers whacking Saranthus instead of the Briv that's in the bag. The briv that's in the bag needs to whack Saranthus.
Or who knows what would happen to us if we took that briv.
That's what I'm concerned about. I mean, just being here when we were also here at the same time hurt.
Do we have any high level clerics here on Storm
No,
Herald?
not higher than Okira.
I wonder if we should get to the temple and maybe there's someone who can help us there.
The temple? I thought we were going to a library.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
all right. It's been a weird day. Or 2,
Yes.
or 100.
I thought King called it a temple. I'm confused.
That was a library in Norn, whatever Norn are.
It was only 640 years ago. So.
Well, I do have to draw a hard line. I do need to know how
I'm sorry, friends. I do not feel comfortable bringing one who was dead like this back, particularly when he. I don't.
I mean, I
mean
trust
that
you, and
it's fundamentally opposed to what Alindra does not. Well, told the dead is necromancer, so. Oh.
I trust you, and you're the one that's got to cast it.
I guess we need to return him to his form without the poison of Saranthus. Is that what we want here?
I would assume that'd be a good thing, yes.
Okay. Then I will wish. Let's get this going.
You got this.
Todd looks too happy.
It's only the third wish this campaign. Come on. I mean,
only 11 episodes in.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're at level 6.
Well, some of us are.
I
say the
will-
words.
No, here's what I wish. I wish that Alindra had foreseen the moment that Saranthus attacked Briv, and she had missed not poisoning him.
Oh my god.
And there you go. Let's break this a little. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna use the gate. Why is it?
Our brains here.
You didn't get
Give me a
poisoned.
second. Let me just chart this in my brain for a moment.
It's all right. You gave us a bunch of moments, so it's only fair.
So
Alindra
the
wishes
way that this I would have hoped this would play out is we would then port to starting in the bubble time machine room. Briv would have gone with Orkira and Penelope into the.
Well,
Bag world.
you wish that Briv that you had foreseen that Saranthus was going to hit Briv. And
So
you
I would have
would've-
that moment would have not connected. He wouldn't have gotten poisoned
Okay.
by her.
All right. You cast the spell wish.
Sorry, guys.
And there is
No,
a
don't be
tremor
sorry.
that moves through all of Storm Herald, and the skeleton of Briv itself just kind of poofs out of existence. And at this exact moment, you just kind of hear a scream in the distance, and again, you almost feel like time and the fabric of reality itself is being shifted once again, and you suddenly see the image of Briv coalesce into full form. He has his armor on, he has his shield, and he's sitting with you, Alindra, and Orkira, looking down at a flower bed, and Penelope
No!
Halfpint is
Oh.
not there. Briv was instrumental in distracting Saranthus the goddess before she could attack someone else in the group. He made a sacrifice play to try to prevent anyone else being attacked. So now Saranthus never hit him. She hit Penelope Halfpint and killed her.
Well, there we go again.
What does Briv know at this point?
Yeah.
Briv knows everything that happened in that order. You never
Including
died.
the wish?
You don't know about that wish that just happened. No, you have no idea. For some reason, you failed. You bungled it completely. You were trying to distract Saranthus, and your attack never landed. It never hit her. You never got 20.
No, it was her touch on him.
Yeah, but
that
her
missed.
attack of you
So
never.
he ran in and still distracted her.
Oh yeah. You still ran in, but she decided to attack Penelope Halfpint instead. You spent a great deal amount of time in this room. There was a time machine. Eventually, you grew too old. You are now at the end of your years as a half-orc, and you had spent most of your time in the bag world with Orkira. Penelope Halfpint, on the first day that you were in this time machine, this room, did not wake up from her wounds.
What do I remember?
You remember everything I said. You have to rewrite that in your mind. You remember
Okay.
having all these adventures with Briv Stillmarrow in the bag world.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That was not right. Okay. Can we? Can I?
Riv, I'm
wish-
sorry we weren't able to tame any of the unicorns in the enchanted forest that you wanted.
We're playing the
Nonsense. Unicorns do not fly. I have no need of unicorns.
Oh.
This is like a rapid cut medley of wishes trying to get it right.
Oh no.
Are you casting another wish?
I have one more I want to try. I would like to, and I'm not actually casting because I hadn't finalized my wording. I was not ready to. Oh gosh. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Please,
It's fine.
this is not the actual cast yet. Please let me try and think this out as I say it. What I want to do is I want to have our party reunited, healthy and whole, and with all of our rightful, normal abilities and memories and all of that in this timeline, not being damaged and broken by psychic crap and ready to take things on.
How many ants?
How do I phrase this? I'm asking for help. And I am asking my friends for help. And I know they are not as smart as I am. But
Alright,
they
so
may
Briv
think of
Stillmarrow and
things that I
Alindra.
Speak
cannot.
for thyself. I have lived many years in the bag world, learning from a cunning fool named Vordred. I never learned his true name.
Briv's intelligence
we
has
decided-
dropped over the years of the back world.
I think we decided that he might have forgotten his true name and he just thinks that's his true name now.
Vordred is your mortal enemy, Briv. You have been in many a battle with Vordred. Over and
I
over
mean,
again,
defeated
you
him every
foiled his
time.
plans.
Obviously, I mean, it is like that Pan character and his Captain Hook. I
Yeah.
toy with the fool.
I don't know, Linda, I mean,
actually, I wish to undo the last turn, and then fix it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I just want us all back to normal.
is that your wish?
I know because that got us into this mess.
No, I got us into this mess. That's why I'm not wishing anymore. But
All of
it's
life is but a mess. It is up to us to clean it up.
That's true.
I've
and
done a lot of research over the years. I feel like I would have read about the ways that people do these things.
You know that Wish is a completely temperamental spell. It very much depends on the wording. It often goes quite wrong, but the end result will come to pass. So when you cast Wish, you know it is a dicey thing.
I know that it's a Wishmaster style adventure here with that. But what I'm trying to get at is, did I read accounts of wizards who have successfully used Wish without totally destroying the unintended consequences?
It's been pretty much 50-50 on that one. Yeah, it's been 50-50. Like
I'm looking at the 50 that know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's mainly accounts of how like terrible things have happened, but you do feel like it's potentially in your grasp to figure this out.
Listen, anything we try is at least getting us towards what we want. And we're still, in a weird way, better off than we were before.
I mean, is it I wish that Orkira had more carefully worded her wish?
I don't think we want to do any more time stuff. I think
well,
go with your heart. The thing you want is that we're all together and us and safe. I think you focus on that. Focus on what we want and not what we didn't want. I don't think we can really change the past.
Tis a terrible idea, Orkira. If she wishes that we were all together and safe, then I might all of a sudden turn into some little feeble mouse or something. I will not be a great warrior.
Anything that she wishes could go wrong. But I think I trust you, and as long as you're trying, that's all we can do. And we'll deal with whatever happens when it happens.
Being perfectly honest, I don't really trust thee at this point in time. But these matters are also quite beyond my ability to comprehend, because I do not have thine magical knowledge.
I love how part of which is the stress of casting this spell to produce any effect other than duplicating another spell weakens you. And indeed, it does.
Yeah, I'm just letting that be psychological damage right now for this episode.
Jen has taken a lot of psychological damage at this point.
You've taken about 20 necrotic damage, but you've got hit points to spare.
Yeah. I guess it's I wish for guidance.
Thou shouldst wish for the freedom for the genie.
There is no gin in... I believe you are referring to the gin. They are not, as far as I know, involved right now, but...
How art thou casting this miraculous power?
While you were in the bag, I studied.
Remember, we were stuck in the bag for... It was only like 2 months for us, but it was hundreds and hundreds of years
2 months,
for her.
speak for thyself, and I show the gray in my hair. I just heard that I'm like at the end of my life or something, right?
Yes.
How long was I in the bag?
You were helping with Orkira to work on the time machine. You didn't want to leave Alindra behind.
So I wasn't in the bag that long. Okay.
Yeah, not until you had to.
Yeah, we stayed until we started to get old and we were about to die, and then we went into the bag. And we were only in the bag for what we think is about 2 months, but it was like 700 years or something for Alindra.
And Todd, I want to be clear. When I'm saying guidance, I am very deliberately phrasing it in a way, not that I get guidance, the cantrip, which I already have.
Right.
I'm asking for steering and aid from one who has more knowledge than I. So I haven't been able to find a teacher here. I'm being self-taught, and I haven't found societies to teach me either here. So this is
I definitely still need the,
internet
the
learning
phrasing.
magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I still need the phrasing of the wish spell, so.
Can you just ask Ogma for help? Do you have to wish that? I mean, Paler doesn't usually answer me, but every once in a while, maybe he will.
I mean,
Gods will not always answer a wish spell, so that's always a dicey predicament as well.
I don't mean with a wish. I mean, just ask. Just pray. What gonna hurt to just
You try praying, you were not given an answer. At this time in the sky, you hear a very loud kind of cawing noise. Briv, can you make a perception check?
7.
Nope, nothing to see here. You're still all arguing over the burial mound of Penelope Halfpint, as everyone else, however, sees a flock of griffins coming towards Storm Herald, highlighted
Everyone
by the
else,
sun
like,
rising.
Whoever, like, do I notice?
Kira and Elindra even.
Oh, seriously?
You notice.
Everyone except Briv. Okay.
Everyone but
like
Briv.
they're the elderly and the children running around Stormheller. They see the griffins, but Briv definitely doesn't after all this time. I love it. This is perfect.
If I see it, the first thing I'm doing is
walks by Briv and is like, "Good job." You have no idea why.
I'm gonna pat Briv on the shoulder and go, Briv, look.
I look up.
Brave.
You look up and
Do
you
I
see a full flock of griffins.
And
everyone else is like excited and cheering, and you're like,
I look over at Orkira, and I just nod, and then I take my satchel, gingerly pull it out, put it to my lips. I let out like just a huge griffin call to center them to land around Briv.
Okay, you do so. They all of a sudden, as you make the noise, they're heading kind of off to the right, and then they just turn right towards you and start heading directly towards Storm Herald at top speed.
They're coming really fast. Should we move
Fascinating
out of the way?
creatures. No. They are our friends, clearly.
Okay. You said that about the unicorns before they charged us too.
Briv is waving his hands. He's
all right.
Spinning. Orkira, light this up.
Firebolt, whatever. I don't know what he wants me lit, but it's lit as soon as he wants it lit.
On fire. I thought you could touch things and make
what
them
did you
laugh.
have in your hand?
Oh, you want light? You want light? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what he wanted. You just want to light this up, so I'm like, fire. I'll put out the fire and I'll cast
you
light.
set his call on fire. Now your hand's on fire.
No. Here,
Turn it off.
And
I
then
meant the lamp kind, Orkira.
Sorry. Hearing's going. Sorry.
I'll cast light.
And then I'm waving like air traffic control, trying to get the griffins.
They begin landing. Back to Elindra. What do you say?
I wish for the guidance and aid of one who does not wish to harm us with greater knowledge than I.
Elindra winks out of existence and there is a smell of sulfur and sparks. Elendra, you
Briv
find
overhears
yourself-
what she wished,
Yeah.
and he is fascinated by the griffins, but then he momentarily just turns to say, "And you have him now," to make a joke. But he
She's gone.
sees that she's gone.
In an immense hallway filled with flames, devils, chains, people being tortured, you see a throne, a black twisted throne, and on it a pit fiend with long yellow horns and a crown and glowing yellow eyes. Why are you here? And you can feel the vibration of its voice in your very bones. And you hear laughter all around you as you see an entire host of fiendish creatures.
Wait, I specifically wish for one who means us no harm.
Yep.
Those who take souls generally mean us harm.
That is true. Generally.
Oh, boy.
What is it that you wish?
Information. Guidance.
What is the information that you want? You want to bring your dead friend back?
Can't deal with these guys. Am I old or am I young right now here?
You are old. Well, we're all waiting. And all these fiends cackle and laugh.
Do I see any signs of... Do I see any chains, anything that would imply capture?
Capture?
Anything that would imply capture, slavery,
Yeah, there's definitely that kind of thing happening around here. Absolutely.
then I won't deal with them. That's antithetical to everything I believe.
Okay.
Like, straight up, that's not.
So you came all this way for nothing? Are you sure you don't want me to bring your friend back?
Who are you?
Penelope Half-Pint?
Who are
Isn't
you?
that... Doesn't matter who I am.
It absolutely matters who you are.
Well, that's not an answer you're going to get.
Well then,
Would you
there's
like
no
to
deal.
bring your friend back to life?
I will find another way if you will not tell me who you are. Our true names are essential.
There's no way I would ever give you my true name. That would give you power over me.
Then I will take you at your identity as it has been given to me. What would you like me to tell others of you?
You're the one here that
What
wants
name's
something.
wrong? I wanted guidance.
You want to know how to bring your dead friend back?
I wanted guidance on how to repair something that is broken.
What is broken for you?
Time.
So you want your friends to be safe? You want them to be alive? You want time to be fine as you perceive it?
Let me see if I can legend lore on this guy. Or find out anything about what's happening here, because...
Okay. Meanwhile, Orkira and Briv, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Briv finds the biggest, baddest griffin that is in the whole lot right here.
Okay.
And he is going to, and I want to just really add here that this is actually not the largest or even the fiercest looking. Like, he's just going with his heart, like what he thinks it is. And so it's actually like possibly one of the smaller ones. But he is really looking to establish a connection right away. And he is going to try to literally from that moment begin to train whatever the griffin, whichever griffin that is. And then kind of as he starts to, see if he can get it, kind of under some kind of bridle, around his beak and that kind of stuff, he thinks about Penelope and thinks about just how much she would love this moment. And then he just turns back around to Orkira and says, I am going to figure out how to use these magnificent creatures to our benefit. Can you please find Alindra? This is not the time for her to be just popping away. And then he walks off with the griffins.
Before he walks off, Orkira will clap him on the shoulder and say, I'll see what I can do. She'll cast guidance just to help him out in case he needs to make any rolls. So you get a D4 to any ability check. Because she thinks he's going to go off and, as old as he is, try to train this griffin. So maybe he could use a little help. But yeah, and she'll say, yeah, let me see. I'll see what I can do. You go do what you got to do with your flock. And she'll kind of watch as he trundles off with these griffins, smiling because, like,
Briv does not trundle.
As he struts, as he walks, as he strides, as he moseys, as he
all of the above.
Okay, as he does all that, because I imagine that, like, griffins
As he
are probably
saunters.
the ones.
Let's keep it going.
As he skips, as he jumps. I'd imagine we couldn't find griffins in the bag world, and so this has been like a lifelong dream of his.
Yeah.
She'll go back to the burial mound where Alindra disappeared, that Penelope is now. Is because I don't remember that other timeline. And she's gonna do what she recommended to Alindra because that's the only thing she could think of, and she's gonna get down on her knees in front of the mound and close her eyes and reach out to where she feels Paylor again. And take a moment, like, kind of enjoying that feeling again, because it's been a very, very long time. And she'll pray.
Okay. Linda?
Oh my goodness.
Since you don't like my kind and my friends, I can make a deal with you. I can bring your friend back, set everything right. And all I will ask of you is to attack an enemy of mine. A devil. A creature you know to be evil. Do this for me. Make this promise. I will bring your Penelope half-pint Back to
What
life.
is the context of attacking this creature? Who is it? Why? I do not take
have to
that
kill
which is
him,
freely
and I will
given.
not tell you their name, but I need you to shame them, destroy their plans, embarrass them, and I will bring her back.
No, I only take that which is freely given. Your offer is not freely given.
I'm giving you the options: fight evil and bring Penelope Halfpint back
You wish me to do harm to another.
to an evil creature. And I'm not asking you to kill.
Your perception of evil may be different than others.
I can tell you otherwise. You would have attacked this creature if given the chance.
You've given me no information on this creature. Why should I trust
Part of
your
the deal.
word? I know nothing about you. Why should I trust you?
Because we devils always make sure our contracts are fulfilled. I have to fulfill it on my end. You have to fulfill it on yours.
So I've recently had a lot of experience with the fine print coming out and biting us. I'm not big on this right now. This is not...
I don't think you as a character should be big on it, but it depends on how much you want Penelope Halfpint to be alive.
I would rather go find the information I need to get her back. I don't... These creatures, from what I know of... I mean, correct me if I'm know too much, but I think in my research I would know a few things about devils. And
You know that devils are not to be trusted,
They have
but that's beyond
chains
that.
around, and that means they capture. They are not providing names, and they are not providing any information, which means they're hiding things, and that means I don't trust them. Because that's not cool. If you're hiding things, you're suppressing knowledge, you're suppressing information. I respect where you are coming from. Unnamed. You. But I cannot, without more information, become a murderer on your behalf.
No one's asking you to murder. I only need you to embarrass this devil.
So, pull his pants down. What's your threshold for embarrassment, and why would I cause that harm?
I want you to destroy his plans. You will have an opportunity in the future.
What if his plans are valuable? Are useful? Clearly, you have a keen intellect.
This is a one-time only deal. Either Penelope Halfpint stays dead forever, or you help me fight evil. I mean you no harm.
Do I know if he can actually keep her dead forever?
Ooh, yeah, he might be able to do that.
I believe in the rightful progression of time, and this has been wrong for a very, very long time.
But this is fixing time.
No, it's not.
Depends on your point of view.
All it's doing is bringing her back into a time that's not right. This is not the timeline she should be in.
Well, by that same logic, neither should anyone.
No, I know. And what should have happened is I should have wished to undo the previous wish. And take that back. I don't want to do a deal with the devil, and I also don't want Penelope to be dead. I don't think she would. He's given her no information. He's clearly a violation of everything she believes. I don't think this is someone who means us harm. I think the consequences of whatever we would have to do will cause us harm. I don't think this is a clean version of guidance from one who means us no harm. This isn't guidance. This is someone offering to fix something.
I can tell you this person is absolutely means you no harm. This entity is completely in accordance with the wish spell.
But it's not guidance. It's they're saying, I'm going to fix this. They're taking away my choice in it.
Well, you can ask it for the guidance, but it's going to be the same deal. He's offering more than guidance.
I don't think this is the way to fix it. I can't.
Okay. Do you say no?
I can't. I'm sorry. This is not, this sucks, but I can't.
Okay.
Agma would never forgive me for that. It would be unforgivable to make a deal with those that are keeping secrets like that.
Well,
and asking us to do that harm.
What is your answer?
My answer is no. On those terms.
And goodbye. You poof out of smoke and fire, and suddenly Alindra Sarbarand appears next door, Kira. You are surrounded by griffins.
It's been a while. Oh, hi. That was super fast. I was just about to pray. Well, you work really fast when you want to. Hi. Where'd you go?
There were devils.
Oh. That's horrible.
Roger was at play. I need to
Adam, I can't hear. We can't hear you if you're talking.
Well, that's because I muted because I didn't want to cough in the microphone. So is Briv still in the vicinity, or has he already walked away, strode away, sauntered?
I think you've come back. You've been you found a griffin that is like a little bit huskier of a griffin that the other griffins don't let play in their griffin games, kind of thing. But he's exceptionally strong, and you just instantly just like something about this griffin feels like the one. You don't know.
Perfect.
Why? It's friendly. It's loyal. It's not as aggressive as the other ones.
'Tis meant to be.
Right.
So what did the devils want? They always want something.
They wanted us to humiliate someone. They wouldn't tell me who. Another evil creature.
Tell me thou tookest that deal.
You would have me deal with devils?
It matters not the source of the assistance as long as it is doing good.
Whether or not, I mean, we can disagree on the source, but I think agreeing to something where you don't know all of the details before you agree to it is a bad idea. So yeah.
I call it cowardice.
Well,
make
you know
me
what?
a coward if you so choose.
I'm all for that kind of cowardice. I like knowing what I'm getting into, and we've already jumped into a whole bunch of stuff without knowing what's going on. So we'll just have to find another way to bring
Penelope in the grave.
Penelope Half-Pint.
I will find another way, Briv.
You find
I've brought them
yourself
back
in a
once.
room filled with fire and towering columns. You are surrounded by fiends and devils. At the end of the long hallway is a large red pit fiend with yellow horns. Hello, little one.
Hello.
I heard you've had a hard time.
Yeah.
Would you like to go back home?
Can you help me with that?
Would you like your friends not to be old?
Yes. Are you saying that I could fix this?
Yes. Would you do something for me in return? Would you fight evil?
Well, yes, I'm a hero, so that's what we do.
Perfect. Do you promise to help me when I ask you to fight evil?
Yes. If you'll be my friend, I will promise. Because I always keep promises to friends.
I will be your friend, Penelope Half-Pint. We will be the best of friends. I will make your wish come true.
And
I will
will
talk
help
to you very soon. Hero of the Vale. And the image disappears. As the three of you are surrounding the grave of Penelope Half-Pint,
Tim Curry, damn you!
a single arm reaches out of the dirt. Penelope, you are alive.
Water! Someone bring water.
I did
Well,
not
I
make the
swallowed a
deal.
lot of dirt
I did
before,
not
but
make the deal.
oh,
Oh,
what's
Oh,
get
happening?
out of the dirt! Get out of the dirt! Get out of the dirt!
What? Did I fall asleep in the dirt again?
No. That
How
was
are you, Penelope, how are you alive? I did not make the deal.
What deal?
Hey, I gotta
And how much
clarify.
do I remember?
Are we young?
You are all now young. You are
Where are
all
we?
the ages that you were before you entered into the bag world. You are fully
So I'm
restored.
back to 6.
You are back to 6.
And where exactly are we in the timeline? What would...
You are exactly
we
where you
last?
were. You are exactly standing around a grave that was Penelope Half-Pint's.
Does Penelope remember dying at all?
Yes.
Briv comes up to Penelope. Penelope, I have something to show thee. And then he kind of moves his broad shoulders out of the way where she sees the griffin. And then no, thou art too wide as well. And he kind of jerks his favorite griffin away and to reveal the rest of the griffins that are there.
Briv, you're not old anymore.
What did I miss? What's happening?
You came out of the ground younger. How'd that happen?
Do we remember the timeline change, or is that like... what is our memory of?
You you remember kind of 2 lifetimes, and it's not necessarily confusing, but you do. It's like you have a dream. You've had 2 dreams, 2 very similar dreams. Someone, you remember a dream where Briv Stillmarrow actually did die at the hands of Saranthus, and you remember a time when you did.
So I have memories of going into the bag world with Briv, and I have memories of going into the bag world with Penelope.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we all have
dear.
those memories.
Oh.
Yeah.
did it, you guys. Look at you. I did it.
How did you
I
do
thought
this?
thou saidst that you did not take the deal.
I did not take the deal.
I took a deal. I made a new friend in the afterlife. It was such a scary place. It was so much fire and death. But there was a very kind person there who is now my friend because I made a deal to help them. And he made
Was it
everything
a-
right again.
Was it a person or was it a devil?
Well, I suppose I don't know.
Horns. Big
Yeah?
horns. Big
Mhm.
claws. Big
Yeah.
wings.
Wasn't bad
Twas
enough
a
having the
devil.
undead after us, now we have the devils after us.
I don't think he's
No
after
one
us.
is after us.
I just wanted to help.
Thou
We just have
didst
to do
good,
one little
Penelope.
thing. We just have to do one little thing, and all can be right again.
Penelope, one little thing is like a seed.
Hmm?
Did he tell you what you have to do?
Yes,
What did he say?
just have to. What was it? We have to embarrass someone. I have to think on the. It feels so hazy, but actually, I don't really remember getting a lot of details. Not even a name or a face. But we
Just to
have to
fight
do
evil.
something for him.
Avandra favors the bold, Penelope.
Fight
Thou art
evil.
brilliant.
We have to fight evil. That's right, because he knew we were
You have to
heroes.
fight evil by making a deal with it?
I don't know if he was evil, but he asked us to fight evil. So that is what we shall do.
Thou hast called me stubborn,
No.
Alindra.
I have convictions, Proof.
As do I. Trust me. Convictions that you do not even know of. It's just when my convictions bring us to places of argument, everyone says that Briv is out of line. When Briv is saying that Alindra is out of line for not using the tools that are in front of her, all of a sudden there's a problem.
I respect your
I don't know.
convictions, Briv. I may not subscribe to them, but I respect them.
I don't know.
He just kind of harumphs and kind of walks off a little bit.
I don't know what to believe, but I'm glad you're both back.
Yes, we must now fight evil.
Huzzah!
We were kind of doing that before, but I guess we'll just have to fight more evil? Is it possible we just have to pants Saranthus before we kill her? Is it possible that this is just that our goals actually do align? Was the evil Saranthus?
I asked, I was not given an answer.
I think.
And one small act has ripples. You all are young. You don't understand the consequences that happen over time.
I
One
think we kind of do
small-
now.
Action can echo for centuries.
Echo in a good way. Doesn't have to echo poorly, you know.
Exactly. And the
long as
mighty actions of Briv and all of the heroes of the Vale shall echo for centuries and millennia.
All we can do is move forward at this point. And just try to do the best that we can. And I may not agree with everything that's just happened, but it's happened, and we can at least be grateful for not being old or dead or stuck in a bag or stuck somewhere else, and that we're all here.
And the
Penelope, do you have a
timeline
way
seems
to
like
communicate with this creature?
It seems.
A way to get instructions? Any information?
It seems he said that we would be in touch soon, so I believe when he is ready, he will reach out to me and we will know.
I will take my stone back from you now.
I reluctantly hand it back.
And I put it in my pocket.
Storm Herald reaches the location that you are heading towards. You reach the ruins of a city in a blasted wasteland. Below Storm Herald, you can see in the distance what appears to be a stone library.
Do we see any movement? Do we notice any undead? Do we see any people?
This place was, this place looks very ancient, but it looks like there's been recent damage, very specifically to the library itself.
My memory is hazy. Why were we called here again?
Keen told us to come here.
A weapon.
To fight Saranthus.
Saranthus.
She's
I
coming.
remember. And then we'll be ready.
He didn't know what the weapon was. He just knew it was here and that it could defeat her. So we're going to have to go searching.
Is Keen
Well,
feeling
there's
any better?
only one
Arkin?
way to find out.
Keen is out. Like,
Briv.
feverishly out.
Okay.
Briv takes the griffin, says, I shall be an advanced scout and take a closer look. And so I'm just going to fly out of the bottom of this and try to get a closer look at the damage and see what's going on with the library.
I'll go with him just so that he's not going alone because this feels creepy.
Yeah,
If
I'll send
I
Griff
feel
out as
like
well.
she is flying faster than I am pushing that griffin to do anything it can to go faster than her.
I don't actually fly very fast, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't have I only have a 20-foot fly
Well,
speed.
Briv
so your
makes
griffin's
sure all
probably
the same.
faster than me. Yeah.
Go and roll animal handling for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
If you haven't
That
used your
is-
guidance.
Well, has that been 10 minutes or whatever, however long that lasts? So if guidance applies, that's a 21. Otherwise, it's a 19.
You just zoom like this is the like you've been a pilot your entire life, and this is the first time you got into a fighter jet. Like, this feels completely natural and normal to you. You feel like a limb was missing, and now you have it. And yeah,
So
Kira, you're flapping your wings and you're flying and you're gliding down. You're quite adept at it now after many years of practice, and Briv's right past you.
That's fine. I want to keep an eye on him anyway, and I'll just kind of like eye on him, scope out what's coming up, but staying behind him.
Okay, Penelope Halfpint, what are you doing?
Staying on Storm Herald for a moment to watch everyone go.
Okay.
And she's just gonna look around, make sure that there is nothing else around, no person or entity. If she feels anything, and then she will join them. Just gonna.
You see a black cat walk past your path as you're waiting and leave stir.
My friend is with me.
Alindra, what are you doing?
Dear.
I'd send Griff out to follow with Orkira and Briv. Oof. I'm gonna record everything that I saw, write it down, make a copy, store it away,
Okay.
and then I will join them.
Okay. So Penelope, are you heading down there as well, or are you staying behind?
Yes, I will join.
All right. How are you joining? Are you trying to ride griffins?
Yes.
I was gonna say I thought we had we're gonna scout and come back, but I like the idea of you just being like, well, this is my griffin now.
Yeah. You find a smaller griffin, a younger griffin, perfect for your size, and it immediately warms to you, being that you are a druid. And you began flying down. How does Alindra wish to reach the library?
I will. Yeah, I'll try and hop a griffin, but I will have Featherfall at the ready.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and give me an animal handling roll real quick. All right.
Hello. Actually, can I give guidance to myself first?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I give myself some guidance.
For Briv and Orkira, you land probably for the first time ever into muddy ash right in front of the library, which says the Library of the Norn.
Hey, stupid question, which I probably should have asked before, but we were role playing. When we arrived back and we had our long rest, and I woke up in my old quarters, did I find any of my old gear, like my armor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yay.
Okay, good.
Everyone has their items back.
Oh, thank God. All right.
Thank goodness.
Okira lands. She thanks Paylor and readjusts her armor and is a little disgusted because she still doesn't have anything on her feet because dragon feet and it's all ashy. And then she'll really detailed look around. She's specifically looking for any sign of movement, any sign of undead, anything that might be evil.
Art thou sure this is the right place?
Well, we won't know until we look around. But this is where we were directed to.
No, you don't see anything. There's definitely no movement at all. But you do see tracks, and the tracks are recent.
Tracks
Maybe
of
as
what?
far ago, humanoid tracks, possibly 5 days ago, 3 days ago.
How many?
Lots. Easily a battalion.
Griff is in Trescent form, so any invisible creatures will be visible to me.
There are no invisible creatures. There's no life around. You can definitely, between all three of you, can confirm there's nothing alive around here.
Do the tracks look organized, or do they look like horde of shambling undead?
No, organized.
Well, we're not the first ones to be here in a while. I don't know if they're friendly or not, but they don't seem to be undead.
The doors to this massive stone library are wide open.
We have to find out if they took the weapon. I will go
Get
look
behind
for it.
me.
Know what the weapon is. Yes.
We shall find out. And
Well,
Briv
let
is
me
going to pat his griffin and just say stay in Orcish. And then he has no idea if that's going to work, by the way. But then he walks through the doors.
It's gonna take a little
Okira
time.
will follow.
Yeah. What's the griffin's name?
The griffin's name, because as I kind of peeled out of Storm Herald, the griffin, for whatever reason, kind of favors its right shoulder, and so every time we start out like that, it spirals. So it kind of twists me around. So I just call it Spiral.
I love this. Aw, Spiral.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, all four of you are in front of the library, and Briv is leading the way. As Briv moves forward, you are deeper and deeper in ash. This library has recently been set ablaze.
Can I tell if
Kira,
it's
can
The
we
regular?
lock
get some light?
itself to the double doors was recently broken. There were some kind
okay.
of magical enchantments on the doors to keep it sealed shut from the outside world.
I'll cast light on my shield, and can I so that we can get a clear look, and can I tell, is this regular fire or is this radiant fire?
This was not radiant fire. Well, some of it was. You see the signs of perhaps a sacred flame spell, multiple ones being used.
Okay, but this isn't what I remember the Saranthus scoured Storm Herald with a flash of radiant fire.
Not necessarily the same thing, but everyone roll a perception check real quick for me. Or investigation, actually.
I have foreseen this moment, so for whoever has the best investigation, they are going to have a 20 on it on the die, plus their modifier.
Whoa. Okay.
My investigation is +4. Anyone else?
You're probably the one who would want that. It's not
so
me.
then if it's a crit on the die, 24.
Hey.
You immediately find a holy symbol that had been dropped. And you can immediately tell that this is the symbol for Saranthus' followers.
Mm.
And they were just here.
This place was sacked by the followers of Saranthus.
All of the books have been burned and destroyed. They specifically were targeting the books.
Why would anyone hide a weapon here?
We don't know what the weapon was. Maybe it was...
Perhaps the weapon was a book.
Is there any way to mend the books?
No, they all are thoroughly destroyed. They made sure of it.
Is it
even
just
the comics?
Please tell me the graphic novels are okay. Is it just
Those were
books?
the first to go.
Was there anything else in here? Like, was it literally just stacks and stacks of books, or was there seemed to be other rooms of stuff?
You
Sitting
are
areas.
drawn, specifically Orkira, you are drawn to the center of the room. And
in the
in
center of
there
the
you
room?
find a pile of ash. But touching the ash, it feels important. Like this feels something deeply familiar to you.
How familiar? Like the last 700 years familiar, or something else?
You feel spiritually connected to this ash. And it's still sort of smoldering.
I'll grab a handful. Is it the ash of a person, or is it the ash of a thing?
It is definitely the ash of a thing, and when it touches your hands, slowly it's almost as if the still burning ashes are moving backwards and growing.
Growing into what?
Pages.
I'll grab a second handful.
I wonder, I think some of this might still be salvageable. I don't know what's going on. Look.
The longer that you specifically are holding it, the more the pages are coming back to life.
What are they forming?
Well, as you move, the pages catch a little bit more fire, and the pages cut. The fire is moving in reverse order. It's actually bringing pages back.
Briv frantically looks for scraps of comics.
You're just digging through ashes.
Penelope sees this and she's like, "Oh, is that what we have to do?" And she's like picking up ash, see if it works.
So
Thou dost not have the magic hands, Penelope.
Wait, does it? Does it work?
What does what work?
When Penelope's
Penelope's also putting ash in her hands.
No. Nothing happens.
Oh.
I've read the book that was in the library, and I know what the Phoenix does. Is that what this seems to be that's happening?
It might be.
Do I think
Whoever
it's the
is
fire?
the fire
what-
seems to help the pages and doesn't seem to hurt it.
So,
All right.
can I create some flame somehow and try and speed
How-
this?
How big is this
Uh,
area?
Is
it-
it normal flame? Does it seem like it's a normal flame, or does
Seems
it seem like it's
semi-normal, semi-magical flame. Something is off. Briv, I need you to make a
okay?
perception
So I don't
check.
want to catch everything then.
To see if I find the comics.
Yep.
If it
That is a
helps,
10.
if it helps, you hear Okira as Alindra is saying this. She's doing that, and she's getting ready to breathe.
Okay. You do you blow flames onto your hands?
Not yet. She's hearing Alindra talk, and Briv has started to search for comic books, and so she's like prepping, and she's giving warning signs that like it's coming.
Okay. All right. What do you breathe fire? Is anyone stopping her from breathing fire?
If
No.
if
On
it's
herself?
the fire seems. Does the fire seem like the kind of fire that she breathes? Because I don't want to. I will stop her if it seems like the fire is different.
This seems like this seems like this is meant to be.
Okay. Then I will allow it. I will step back though, because
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, I'll find a. So I'm not necessarily breathing on myself. I'm like finding a 15-foot cone full of ash that I'd like to breathe on. That doesn't
You
include
breathe-
my friends.
You breathe flames and you light up the entire library. And all the ashes start swirling around everyone, including Briv. And they condense into a single volume. And the volume says, "The Domain of the Phoenix."
I wonder
And
if
it
the whole
seems to have
library only had one
instructions
book.
on how to summon a phoenix.
what?
Oh,
Briv, while this is happening, you find something that might be comics in the ash. You pick it up. And you see a card. It says Ruin on it. And underneath is a deck of cards.
oh,
Oh my god.
I obviously pick it up.
What you do? Of course you do.
I put
Has
them in
anyone
my
As
seen-
pocket.
you are also searching, you find a stone tablet on the ground. It says, "This is a place of knowledge for the world." And that world is called Derheim. And you know that in some tongue of primordial, that means home of the valley, of the Vale. And that's the adventure. Thank everyone for watching. This has been Heroes of the Vale. Lots of moral questions today. And I hope everyone's learned about Wish. So
let us
I feel like
never
we've-
cast it again.
I think we've all
So now we're
I think
out
we've
of the
all-
wish changer and back into deck of many things.
Which only has possibly three wishes in it, so we're okay.
Only three.
Only
We're
three.
fine. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
We've
great.
What
already
could
done more than
possibly
that.
go wrong? Briv
With three
has the
wishes.
deck of many things. Everything's
Nothing. It's
going to
gonna-
be fine. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Hope Lavelle playing Penelope Halfpint. I'm so sorry I killed you. That broke my heart. Adam Bradford playing Briv Steel Marrow. Thank you for being abundantly patient as we try to figure out how to bring you back to life. And I'm also sorry for killing my boss. Lauren Urban for playing Okira Eldrex, and Jen Kretschmer playing Alindra Sara Barand, and also doing a fantastic job of just sticking to her guns. And
That's
Here we
Todd
go.
Kenrick, our dungeon master. So thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.